Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Peace World. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
This is how I've cut men out of my life completely and how you can as well. I'm right now at 7B status, so there is 4B, which is...
There's a 7B status now? My jeez.
No sex with men, no marriage, no babies. I already do that. 7B is the most extreme level of not having to interact with men at all. So the first thing is I'm very mindful about the media that I consume. I don't read love stories, dating rants. It's just not applicable to me because, you know, when you're consuming somebody's story, then you take on their energy and you take on their frustration, and then it becomes your problem as well, especially if you're quite an empathetic person and you're very sympathetic. So instead, I read educational content, true crime to keep me aware. I love poetry about self-love and healing, and anything to do with enhancing my hobbies and bringing me closer to any goals that I...
So wait, hold up. You won't read romantic poetry or romantic stuff because that's man and woman being together. That's bad. But you listen to true crime? Well, let me guess. The men are doing bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
To reinforce your idiocy. Oh my god. And this woman looks like she's up there in age. Like, this isn't a young woman doing this. This is a big grown dummy.
Like I said, they want to say, oh, they choose. Men weren't choosing him in the first place. That's why they're like, you know what? I'm lonely. Might as well make some content out of this loneliness.
I'm getting pissed off. It's been 72 hours since Trump been elected, and we are not getting what we voted for. We're not. And I'm pissed about it. I'm pissed because I could have sworn that these celebrities and these women on The View and all these places said that if we voted Trump in, that they was going to leave the country.
True.
And now I saw that the View, they showing up in black dresses just to mourn the president election, Trump being elected. That is not what y'all promised us. No. Y'all said that if we voted for Trump, that they will leave the country, and y'all ain't boarded a plane yet.
I know.
And I'm getting frustrated. Trump, you gotta do something about this, because I thought our vote was gonna count. We did vote for that. That's what they not understanding.
It's true.
We voted for y'all to leave the country. And I thought that I would be seeing airlines being, filled up. Tickets would be hard to get because all the celebrities, all of Hollywood, all of these politicians, these journalists that said that if you get elected, that they was gonna board the plane and leave. I can't no more. Our vote ain't counting already, y'all.
I know, right?
I guess maybe I'll give them another week, but time is ticking. Get on the plane. All right.
I haven't seen any celebrities leave America,
nope.
But I have seen some regular people threaten to leave. And it's absolutely hilarious because where are you going? They were like, where are you going? And that was just those celebrities fear-mongering because they think they have more control over people than they actually do. They think they're more important than they actually are, which is why they come out and they give their BS opinions and their BS statements that absolutely, unequivocally, nobody asks for.
4B movement has evolved into something so much more funnier than I could ever imagine it to be. They are shaving their heads.
Yep.
Honestly, good riddance, because us sane women deserve prettier hair anyways. So not only are these Mayo Monsters sitting there holding back their bodies...
Did she just call them Mayo Monsters?
...as if the whole world hasn't smashed through it already like the Hulk, but now they're shaving their heads to make themselves unappealing to men. Maybe perhaps they don't understand the only men they're hurting in this is liberal men, but that's none of conservative people's issues. They really think it's such a gotcha because they learned how to close their, disease-ridden salami pockets and shave their head to make themselves easily recognizable.
She can't keep doing this, man. She can't keep doing it.
If you are a conventionally attractive man that appears to be masculine, like how society, thinks of masculine, and you have left beliefs, you don't even have to be a leftist. You can be the most centrist Democrat in the world. I don't care. You can be a moderate. It is time for you to pick up a podcast mic. And I'm not at all kidding. Because I would totally do it, but I'm a woman. They're not going to listen to me. And that's just a fact. The Democratic Party needs to completely revamp their messaging, and that starts with finding a left-wing Ben Shapiro. I made a video about this yesterday. We need to completely, from the ground up, rebuild.
A left-wing Ben Shapiro? Is that even possible?
This. There is a disconnect in our media nowadays because we might have mainstream media, sure, whatever, let's go with that line of logic. But the Republicans have completely created these new spaces and then sent their people into these new spaces and taught them how to use them to get them to work for them. The top podcasts are all right-leaning. That's what young people are listening to nowadays. That's what people
I guess they are.
That's what people are using to get information nowadays. People don't watch the news. People don't read the newspaper. They listen to a podcast. The right has echo chambers. We need to create our own echo chambers at this point.
What? You guys had whole echo chambers this whole time.
So what do you want to do? You want to get all the soy boys together? You want to get all the soy boys together so we can talk about how bad masculinity is? Talk about how all the problems in society are a man's fault? Talk about how much they hate themselves? A left-leaning man, it doesn't even make sense. Because all you guys do is push out how bad men are. So you guys already have the men who hate themselves. That's what you have.
How are young men being pushed out of the Democratic Party? Let's talk about it. What I'm about to say might really ruffle some feathers, but I've talked to them and this is what they are telling me. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, I'm just repeating what I have been told. I've started going into these spaces with these red-pilled men and genuinely asking them how they ended up here. And I really encourage us to actually hear what they are saying. The patriarchy has existed since the beginning of time. Nobody disagrees with that. The feminist movement was created as a result. Women wanted rights, absolutely.
White women wanted to be equal to white men.
Yeah.
That's why feminism was created. The white women who created feminism had more rights than every other demographic other than the white man.
Yep.
The feminist movement continued to gain ground and traction. We started blaming men for a lot of our problems. KAM, The Bear, all of those movements made these men feel incredibly villainized.
Imagine having a movement that calls for the unaliving of all men, right? And they would. Why are all the men going conservative?
Why are they with
What's
us?
happening?
They felt targeted. And when they ask questions, a lot of us just yell at them instead of genuinely explaining things to them, having the patience to explain it to them. And I understand that it is incredibly difficult to have patience in situations like this, which is why I'm not sitting here telling everybody to go and do this. But those of us that have the patience, those of us that are willing to sit down and listen to these boys talk about why they feel excluded, we need to be doing that. I don't think it's at all that because we're trying to focus on issues that impact other people, they feel like we're disregarding them. I think that the yelling and screaming at them has really impacted them. And I'm not talking about grown men. I'm talking about teenage boys, young men. They don't.
Us grown men have kind of navigated life enough to understand. The young men, my God, they are completely lost.
Understand. So what I'm saying.
What was that Gillette commercial? When was that made? 7, 8, 9 years ago? Demonizing little boys? Those little boys can probably vote now.
Is that we need to build a coalition that helps men and women. We need to find a way to explain to women why men feel the way that they do, and we need to find a way to explain to men why women feel the way that they do in a way that is constructive, in a way that is productive. We need to have dialogue happening right now.
We know the way you guys feel. It's because of your feelings.
Instead of just yelling and screaming at each other. Because cutting off all men, the 4B movement and all that is just going to push them further. And in their mind, we are pushing them into the arms of Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Tate, and Joe Rogan. That is verbatim what they told me. And again, I'm not saying you have to listen to all of this and absolutely agree with it at all. Not everybody is going to necessarily hear this and go, oh no, this makes a lot of sense. This is probably going to piss a lot of people off. But my response to that is that we need a big tent movement right now. We have become the party of exclusivity.
Yep.
And a lot of you guys are going to sit here and go, well, we don't need them. Clearly we do. Clearly we do need the young men. And that's not me saying that we need to bring their hatred over here. That is me saying that we need to go into these circles and take this hatred out. We need to have these conversations and educate them on.
I at least am okay with this. I enjoy this. At least she's trying a conversation. She's genuinely trying to do things, not just trying to shit on men.
A level that they are able to understand.
Why do you need to educate young men? That's the problem.
I don't believe it's genuine hatred. I might be proven wrong in a little bit. We'll find out, I guess. But I don't believe it's genuine hatred. I feel like it is a lack of education, a lack of people sitting down.
No, it's experience. There's no lack of education. Again, the older men, there was no education for us. No, we just figured out everything through experience that women are miserable.
Actually explaining this to them. Why would the right want to educate them and make them less hateful? They are capitalizing on their hatred right now. These men do not have a space in any political movement. The only emotion that the right teaches them is anger. And I know I'm going to get called a pick
I would disagree with that, but okay.
me for this, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm okay with that. Because I'm sick and tired of losing. And I don't know if you guys are, but I, for one, am. And I'm sitting here asking myself, what can we do as a party to not get our asses kicked like we did on Tuesday night? If there is a demographic that you feel like you can appeal to, I encourage you to go into that community and do the work.
Yeah, good. I do the same. I go to the sex worker industry and try to convert you guys all too. Educate
the pot
you guys
calling
too.
the kettle black. All the right knows is hate. Yet you came up with a movement, feminists, unalive all men. That was a feminist movement. The bears are less dangerous than men. That's you guys, right? Aqua, whatever the case is I just said. Unalive him. Is that not anger? 4B, I'm shaving my hand. Is that not anger? The right may be angry, but let's not act like you guys are just these peaceful kumbaya. Like, let's not do that. Let's jump right off the high horse. Get off it. I have to say, I do like your mindset. You are going in the right direction.
I agree.
We actually have to have conversations because it's the only way we're going to come together. So the feminists are losing their heads, okay? The 4B women, their head loss is on a different level, okay? Now there's a trend going around where these women are actually threatening to unalive men. Like, it's an unalive man.
Wait. Oh, yes, there was that one lady in the other video where she was like, any white man she sees, she's just going to blast them.
And trend.
It's crazy.
I can believe it, but I'm still shocked for some reason.
Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
Really?
This is what I don't get.
Women do that already now. We've seen videos of women poisoning their husbands like that.
These feminists are taking the audio of Nick Fuentes. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's an absolute degenerate, okay? Yeah. Racist. He just the worst of the worst. He just bottom of the barrel, right? Most people, even conservatives, don't align with someone like Nick Fuentes.
True.
But they've taken his audio and they're threatening to poison men with tea. But who are you serving tea? Like, surely this would only work with someone close to you, right? Like, you're not going to see me on the street and give me something to drink. Like, that's weird. So who are you actually planning to unalive?
Women who can divorce their husbands, I'm gonna need you to do it today.
Interesting. I do wonder where this is going.
And who can't divorce their husband, look up Aqua Tofana.
What?
I didn't say to do anything with it. I just said to look it up.
Right. Because that type of message isn't the least bit disturbing at all.
Aqua Tofana is a poison.
So wait a fucking minute. So they started another trend called Aqua Tofana and are posting videos about it on social media, including this app, and nothing's being done about it?
Right? That's where I'm confused. Like, they're literally kind of telling on themselves.
We're still talking about those particular women over the election situation. So y'all running around poisoning the fuck out of your husbands and shit?
Yep.
You know what? I don't trust nothing moving right now because y'all reckless as fuck for this one. Watch this. So y'all making clear, concise
protect yourselves at all times.
Threats to unalive people and posting this shit on social media. And it's still up? I'm so fucking confused. And still, again, no one is protecting the children also. Yep. And if you don't know what Aqua Tofana is, let me share this with you.
Her story is still clouded in mystery. It is thought that Julia was taught how to make poison by either her mother or family friend. For nearly 20 years, she made bottles of poisons, which was a combination of arsenic, deadly nightshade, and lead. She called it aqua. What the fuck? And it's bottled to look like face cream. It was packaged with a picture of Saint Nicholas, who was the patron saint of children and unmarried people. Nicholas was famous for helping young women and girls escape what we call now abusive relationships. Wow. Sorry for my reading, guys.
Today we're gonna make Josh a drink because we're gonna add some aqua tofana into it, not poison.
What?
Sweetie, this, whether you're joking or not, there is absolutely not a fucking thing funny about this shit. Y'all realize you can go to jail for this, right? Like jail. Not just jail for a night, like jail. Like jail food for a couple years.
Well, look, nothing is going to happen to them because this is violence against men. And we know that's okay. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody talks about it. It's fine. It's cool. TikTok won't. Nothing will happen to these creators because it's cool. You know, if this was in reverse, we already know what would happen. Okay? But violence against men, that's fine. But it just goes to show the mental stability of some of these people online. And when conservatives see things like this, it only reassures them in the decision that they made.
Yep.
You guys understand that, right? You look at this like, damn, yeah, I made the right decision.
I woke up this morning and it was heavy on my heart that I owe my brothers an apology. The news created story after story that essentially our brothers were deserting us and that they were turning towards Trump and going to vote for Trump in higher numbers than ever seen before, which was a lie. Trump pulled the same number of black men as he did his last election.
But why? Why did your media lie to you? Why did they try to make it seem like there was this massive divide between black men and black women?
I believed all the stories. I got wrapped up in the hype. And you know why that's so crazy? Because I, Randy B, am the one who was always talking about how the media tries to manipulate us, how the media always shows the negativity within the black community. And I'm the one who knows exactly how they manipulate us to create separation between us.
You see, what I've noticed with a lot of these black women online, when they talk about community, they talk about the black community, they're only really speaking about black women.
Yeah.
Because they'll be able to see when the media is trying to manipulate people to view black women a certain way. That's not how black women are. They can see through it. But when it comes to men, they can't. These would have been the same type of women to use the exact same racist logic white people have used against black people forever on black men. They will be the same types of black women to say black men don't take care of their kids when we know that isn't true. The same types of black women to call black men bullet bags. And look, she's apologizing, okay? Accountability is great. But how did you fall for it in the first place?
But I fell for it. And I became upset. And I did my little think pieces. I think I was always respectful. I always try to be respectful. But I came for y'all. I was upset. I was hurt. Because, you know, with my brothers, I take it personally. I take it personally. I got too much love there not to take it personally. And I was wrong. And I am sorry that I...
What if, even if they did vote the other way, what is wrong with that? Why do you guys get so upset over that? That's the problem that we're facing right now, that people have difference of opinions and we're trying to kill each other for it. That's kind of crazy in a first world country like the United States.
I got wrapped up that I trusted mainstream media.
Why the fuck would you trust them?
Who has never, for the most part, reflected us in a good light or has ever done anything or written stories that unite us, for the most part. So I am sorry, and that's on me, and I will be more careful in the future. Black men, for the most part, stood by us. Are there the outliers? There's always going to be. But for the most part, brothers voted for us. And many are saying that they were voting in support of our reproductive rights, us as women. And they were voting for a black woman.
I keep calling her black, and everybody says that she's not. She also doesn't look like it to me, so...
May this election remind us.
Again, just because she was a black woman, like, so we had to vote for her because she was black. Like, who's racist now, right? I just voted for the man because I thought he was going to be better than the woman. Not racist, like not sex wise, but just I thought he'd be a better candidate. I didn't really see that he was white, orange, or whatever the hell he is. I also didn't care that she was woman, black, or whatever the hell she is. It was just about policy. Why are we voting on race? Well, how is that not racist in a sense?
Of how united black people are. We may disagree all the time about things because we're family and families do that. But when it's time to unite and come through, we come through. We showed up for each other. We are a team. I don't want us to focus so much on how we're not good or the dissension between the two of us, between black.
You kind of have to focus on that because you have to fix the problem. You can't focus on only the good things and expect the problem to solve itself. That the problem must be discussed for everybody to understand the problem at first, and then you can discuss how to fix the problem.
Men and black women, I really would like for this to be a time of healing for all of us. Because if we don't have each other, we don't have nothing. If we didn't learn nothing about this election, we need to have learned that. And so thank you, black men, for standing by us. I'm sorry.
It's just funny because most of the black men that watch my channel did not vote the same way you did, lady. And they're still good black men.
And I hope that we continue to build upon this. We use this as a moment to get even stronger. My love to all of you out there.
Look, accountability is a great thing. And the fact that she's come to the realization that she was wrong and apologize is fantastic. The black community has always been together in real life. The idea that we're divided again is an online myth. And that's just one of the many things I'm glad came out of this election.
I think we severely underestimated the amount of women around us who will never be able to stop seeking the approval and validation of the white men around them. And y'all really exposed yourself with the results of this election. These white women who voted against our interests, these are the women that we went to high school with, that we were best friends with in college, that we played sports with our whole lives. But they chose to listen to their dads. They chose to listen to their boyfriends or their husbands. They chose to put the interests of the white men around them in their lives above the interests of women, above the interests of minorities, above the interests of oppressed people. I will never be able to wrap my mind around that. How you can be a highly educated woman, see how women around you are being treated, see how minorities around.
Yeah, every woman around them gets treated normal like everybody else. This is the problem that feminists love to spout. Are you living a horrible life? You seem to have a nice car. You seem to be looking well. Is someone mistreating you in any way? Someone constantly harassing you? Someone trying to grape you all the time? No, society's pretty good for you women.
Around you are being treated, and still choose to value the opinion of the white men around you the most and vote for their interests. One of the most important women in my life married a...
Why does everybody seem to say it's the interest of white men? It's just the interest of men. Men stood there, finally got up off their freaking lazy asses. I'm one of them, I'm just saying. And said, stop it. Stop it. We're going to take care of things now. That's all it was. It wasn't white men or whatever. No, just a good chunk of men. And then women were like, yeah, I can understand why you're upset. I get you.
A rich white man And she chose to vote for his interests instead of the interests of her 3 daughters. The silence from all of these women right now who could not bring themselves to vote for Harris, to vote for another woman in this election, is shameful, and we will not forget.
You know, women have never had as many rights as they've had now. Never had as many freedoms. Never been able to do as much without any restraint as they can do right now in the West. But when those same very women decide, I'm gonna vote for Trump, it's a man's fault. It's not those women acting of their free will. No. It's somehow them trying to please men in some sort of weird way. And this is what I don't get. As liberal women, as women who believe that men and women are equal, why is it that a man can vote in his best interest, but women can't? Do women not possess the same cognitive powers, the same level of brain power as men? Because that's what all the data suggests. So maybe, instead of making this a man versus women issue, maybe look at what your party did wrong.
Yeah, I do agree the media can really show the total opposite. I have one major story of how I understand the media very, very well. I don't want to get into that story too much because it reveals too much about me that I don't want to share too much. But I have been